Good evening and thanks for joining us. It is being described as one of the most important land-based archaeological finds in modern times. One of the ships from the doomed Franklin expedition has been found. It was more than 160 years ago that 129 brave men sailed off to find the Northwest Passage. Their grueling, fruitless journey ended in death, and their ships languished somewhere in Canada's vast Arctic until this week. As Eric Sorensen reports, researchers found a needle in a haystack. Eric?
Donna, it was one of the great mysteries and agonizing tragedies that began to define this country 20 years before Confederation. Sir John Franklin, his expedition, lost in the Arctic. And not for 167 years could anyone say this: one of Franklin's two ships has been found.
There she lies, the Erebus or the Terror, remarkably intact, amazing to behold. The lucky break in finding it: two critical pieces of the Franklin wrecks found this summer. One, an iron fitting heavy enough to suggest the ships were near.
A day of some very...
Today, an announcement decades in the making.
We have found one of the two Franklin ships. This would be the bow.
That's it, the length of the ship deep underwater.
Articulated stern at the top of the image.
A remarkable moment in Canadian history.
I think it's actually bigger than the Titanic or the Bismarck, because we actually know what happened to those vessels. So there was this incredible unknowing, this persistent unknowing around the expedition. No journals, no logs, no survivors to tell the story.
Franklin was searching for a shortcut from Europe to Asia through the Northwest Passage. His ships were caught in the crushing Arctic ice and abandoned off King William Island. The ships moved with the ice. Through the decades, clues and artifacts from Franklin's desperate crew were found over hundreds of miles. Though scientists say the discovery of the ship itself is near Hat Island, much farther south than many expected.
Inuit testimony.
Just last month, Prime Minister Harper rendezvoused with the Canadian Navy in the Arctic and with scientists who were looking for the Franklin vessels. There was a sense they were getting close.
We're going to find it.
And they did, after so many searches. At first to rescue the men, and then just to find their remains. Some corpses were discovered in the 1940s, other relics through the years. In the end, early Inuit descriptions of the ship's location turned out to be right. Now there's much to be learned.
The potential here is for tremendous insight into the final days of the expedition.
The story of Franklin has been part of Canadian folklore since Canada was founded. Now, a new chapter.
I would take the Northwest Passage to find the hand of Franklin reaching for the Beaufort Sea. Tracing
Eric Sorensen, Global News, Toronto.
Finding the ship was a mix of science and serendipity. The search team had been intending to scour part of the seabed further north, but that area was blocked by stubborn sea ice. Since 2008, the search teams have surveyed about 1,200 square kilometers of Arctic seabed. That's the equivalent of 2,200 football fields. And since only 12% of the Arctic has been charted to modern standards, it was dangerous work. Plus, the window for searching was small because the area is covered in sea ice for most of the year.